So, wrapping up, some lessons learned. Public opinion matters, and we've heard about this a little bit, and I just want to emphasize it again. This organization has to win the public relations campaign. Your judges, I believe, are publicly elected. They're going to be sensitive to what the newspapers are writing. They're going to be sensitive to what people are thinking. There is a public relations campaign against you. You can bet on that, and you have to win that campaign. Second of all, back to the first thing. That's a mistake that we made. We didn't have the funds to fight a media battle, and we didn't have the people to manage it. I was very active in the organization at the time. I was writing briefs. I couldn't do a media campaign at the time. And if there's anything that I would do different, it would be to wage that media campaign. Second of all, judges' perceptions of the best public policy may prevail over decades of prior law. What we saw in our case is it didn't matter how many court decisions or attorney general opinions said we had exclusive use right. Obviously, those judges that sat in the Michigan Supreme Court thought that that wasn't very important, that creating a beach walking right was more important. So be sure to brief the court on why protecting your rights is the best policy choice, and I think that's what we heard about from our previous speaker. We have to talk about the importance of private property rights and any other reason that we can think of as to why it's good public policy for us to have our rights. And then the final thing we learned, and I guess we knew this all along, is the Fifth Amendment protection of private property is eroding. And we have a case coming up in Florida which addresses the idea of judicial taking, which is exactly what happened in the Michigan Supreme Court. The court just took our property rights away with the stroke of a pen, and they didn't pay us a dime. And there's a question in the Supreme Court whether there is a concept of judicial taking or not. It's never actually been decided. Lots of judges, justices of the Supreme Court have talked about it in a few decisions, but there never has been a case, to my knowledge, where the court said, state court judges, you can't do that. You can't just ignore the law and come up with some new rights and take people's rights away. That's a judicial taking. There's never been a decision to say that, and in Florida, they have a case now before the Supreme Court where they could make that decision. But I went to the oral argument in Washington, D.C. I listened to what the judges were asking, and I questioned whether they're going to go there. And that's too bad, because this is a really important question at this time in our society. Okay. So, what is SOS doing now? I think this might be my last slide. We're investigating a legislative solution, but I think that's going to be a really big uphill battle in this political climate. Second thing, we filed that amicus brief in the Florida case that I just talked about. And third, we're supporting the Ohio Lakefront group. We're giving a little bit of financial support, and we're providing some technical support. I talk to your leaders occasionally, tell them some of the things I just told you today. And we hope to be filing an amicus brief. Also, your judge in the county court, Judge Lucci, am I saying that right?
Right.
He said the Glass versus Gecko case was wrongly decided. And we hope to write a brief that will show that he was right about that. Next. Okay, I did want to have one parting comment I want to say. I want to make sure I read it right. I want to let everybody in this room know that the 3,000 members of SOS are indeed your partners in this fight, and we are going to do everything we can on our side to help you win. Thanks a lot.